there. I'm Amy Connell. Welcome to Graced Health, the podcast for women who want simple and grace-filled ways to take care of themselves and enjoy a little chocolate in the process. I'm a certified personal trainer and nutrition coach who wants you to know your eating, movement, and body don't have to be perfect. You just need to be able to do what you're called to do. Today's Ask the Trainer question is, what can I do to not be so tired after a workout? We have all been there, haven't we? I mean, I tell you what, I have had some workouts that just wiped me out. Like, it's all I can do a few hours later, not to just crawl onto the couch and close my eyes and curl up underneath my favorite blanket, even if it's the middle of summer and it's 1,000,000 degrees outside, and just go to sleep. I have definitely been there. I see that sometimes in my people, and I think that that can be common. It's not uncommon. I'll just say that but it is preventable. And if you've been with me a while, you know, I do not claim to have perfect nutrition, even though I know the stuff. That doesn't mean I always implement it. So, that can hit all of us. And I want to go through a few things that might be contributing to you being fatigued or really tired after a workout. And, just for whatever it's worth, you are going to be somewhat tired, right? Like if you have a really intense HIIT session, yeah, that's going to get you. If you are lifting a lot of weights, that's going to get you. But I think you know what I'm talking about. Like my analogy is if I were someone to put a syringe and just suction out every bit of energy that I've had. And I used to get this a lot when I was running in the mornings before I would go coach my classes. And I finally figured out one of the problems, which I'll share in a minute. So let's go through some of the things that might be the issue. It will not surprise you that the first thing I want to say is, what's your nutrition like? What kind of foods are you eating throughout the day? If there's a lot of fried stuff, a lot of sugary stuff, a lot of processed stuff, your body's not going to be able to metabolize that well. It's not going to be fueling your muscles well. And that can leave you really tired because you don't have what you need for the workout. And this can include, not that it's not metabolized well, but this can include supplements. So if you are having a really high sugar pre-workout supplement, which I don't think, well, let's just say this. For me, as Amy, as a 45-year-old woman, I don't need to be taking any of that kind of stuff. Like that's just not the kind of workouts I'm having. But if you are having something that has a whole lot of carbohydrates in there or, an energy boost or something like that, you could be suffering from a crash with that. So that would be my first recommendation, though probably not the most important. The most important would be, are you dehydrated? This will not surprise you either. Not having enough hydration in your system will make it so that it's not being able to do what it needs to be able to do. And this actually, I figured out, was my problem when I would go running at 6:00 in the morning in Houston in July and then go outside and coach classes. I mean, I was dehydrated, even though I was drinking a lot of water. I did the episode about supplements in the water. I'll have to try and find that and post that in the show notes. But I found that adding those Nuun, N-U-U-N, I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not really sure. But I have found that adding those work like magic for me. And it just gives me just enough electrolytes to really feel better. So hydration is another one. Another thing to look at, how are you sleeping? Did you sleep well last night? Were you tossing and turning, or as I call it, flipping and flopping? I flip and flop a lot some nights. If you're not sleeping well, then yeah, that's going to impact how you're feeling after a hard workout session. Obviously, try and get that 7 hours. I know for me, I really need 8. I prefer 9. I need to sleep a lot. I always have. Thankfully, I'm married to a man who likes to sleep a lot too. So we prioritize that. My poor kids never get any help with their homework because we're in bed at 9:30. Anyway, and then another thing to think about is, are you giving yourself rest days? And by rest days, I don't necessarily mean going out and power walking for 6 miles if you're used to doing super high intensity stuff. A rest day might mean yoga. It might mean mobility. We talked about mobility training in episode 1 of this season. It might mean stretching or something like that. Or just, guess what? You can just take the day off. Like, you don't have to do anything. If you are highly active every other day of the week, your body just might need a day off. I have gone through seasons, and I am coming off a season where I was moving a whole lot. We did a 10,000 step challenge on my podcast Facebook group. And between that and all of the other things that I was active in, I just needed a day. And let me tell you something, I got like 2,000 steps in the next day, and I felt zero guilt about it because my body needed a rest day. So make sure you are giving yourself at least 1 day a week. I will get anywhere between 1 and 2 days, kind of depending on what I'm doing. So permission to rest, you guys, permission to rest and curl up on that couch with your favorite blanket and watch your favorite show on Netflix, whatever that may be, or Hulu, or whatever it is. So that is what you can do to not be so tired after a workout. Watch your nutrition, including supplements. Are you sleeping well? Are you having rest days? And the other one I forgot to say is, are you on a new diet? Are you on a new eating plan where you are severely limiting one particular macronutrient, probably carbohydrates? Remember, carbohydrates provide energy. And so if you're not having those and your body's not used to not dealing with it, you're probably going to feel tired as well. So I forgot to include that one, but that was in my list. Okay, that is it for today. Go out there and have a great day.